Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Terratech with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to a 4 AM build after a couple of beers, because I've decided today is the perfect day to do a stupid build. Recently, we've been trying to build things which are actually decent for the campaign. Today, we're just building something stupid as a one-off side video, because I want to. I've had a terrible few days, and explosives always make everything better, so we're messing around today with the bombs. We are building a bomb chucker, a ground vehicle that can chuck bombs at the enemy at a rather spectacular distance. Because for those who don't know, bombs in this game are a little bit weird in all the right ways. When they reach a certain speed, their natural tracking will actually allow them to increase their altitude if they're after enemies far enough away, and generally, they can keep on going until their natural detonation timer simply ticks over, which is sadly quite short still, but certainly long enough if they're going at a decent speed to act like a really, really powerful missile. So that's what we're going to try to do today. So how I want to do this is quite simple. I want the craft to be angled very, very steeply, so the back is sticking up and the front, of course, is sticking down. That way, when it simply stops, it releases the bombs, it's already releasing the bomb forwards, but also it should have a little bit more altitude in the front. But that's all well and good, but the only way this is going to work is if the craft is going incredibly quickly and can then stop almost instantly. So we're going to need backwards thrusters, and I'm going to bind it so that as soon as I press backwards, the thrusters activate. And yes, I realise I just pressed backwards and went forwards. Well, actually, I pressed forwards or saying backwards, you get the idea, the beer is here. So, let's build this thing out a little bit, shall we? What I want to use, I think, is probably... Where are you, Venture? The Venture monster truck wheel. Now, I would use the Titan truck, which is amazing, but it is a bit too big, honestly. It'll be a lot more difficult to build around, and we are going to use a lot of ion drives and stuff like that to ensure we are getting to a very good speed very, very quickly. Okay, enough random waffling. Let's just build the boomy thing. So here's the question, what's more important, being closer to the target or being higher up upon being released? I think kind of being higher up, but I don't want it to be so high up that it looks just really, really stupid. So we're going to do a bit of a test. What we're going to do is just go with this craft as it is right now. It can't really stop particularly quickly, and it can't particularly get to a particularly quick speed, but it can particularly get the job done. So what we're going to do is have a set of bombs kind of all the way along here and all the way behind this and see which ones get towards the target better. Is it height which is more important, or is it that little bit of extra distance to be a little bit closer for their tracking to kick in a little bit better? I was saying that this won't be a great test because we're not going to get to the correct speed, but you get the point. 45 degrees is the correct angle for throwing a projectile, correct? I remember learning something like that when I was in Scouts, I vaguely recall. Surprisingly good with a bow, and even better with a gun, but yeah, I remember vaguely the bow training. Good enough, okay, that is worthy of testing, although we are incredibly slow. Didn't really think about the whole weight thing. Well, that's something we'll have to deal with. Okay, did you watch which bomb went where? Because I certainly wasn't paying any attention. Let's try that again. It seems like the middle was kind of the best. Either way, though, all of them seem somewhat viable, so that's fine. We can do some proper tests when we're not sitting on our butt, to put it politely. Oh, I just thought of something which could allow me to build things even worse. You there, the Better Future Active Single-Axis Gyro. Oh my god, I said that first time! Yeah, so this lovely thing will only work with one axis, and that's actually not what I'm after in the slightest. Well done, Lathrix. You said it correct, not what you're after. There we are, the pitch gyro. So these lovely things will let me choose a pitch. So, if I have them all desperately trying to hold this thing down... Wait, does this affect all of them? No, wrong button, there we are. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought each one would be unique, but apparently they're all under the same control. Huh, go figure. Doesn't matter though, because we have put all of this thrust way under the center of mass, thus, whee! No damage. I am so proud of myself right now. So it turns out I had the gyros off in that previous test, hence becoming airborne. But now they're on, yep, they're working absolutely fine, and we can add way more ion drives absolutely everywhere. Now the problem is, the ion drives don't work backwards anymore. They used to, but now they just give these weird blue tendrils, but don't actually help out. So they're pretty, but do absolutely nothing. There we are. So, first of all, I do want to go faster than this, though. Currently, we can get to 144-ish, 143 average. That's good, but I know you can at least get to 150, and the speed is going to be very important with how these things work. Now, where is that Terratech sign? I just want to throw bombs at something before we continue. How far did I go out? Hello, there we are. As you can see, they can sort of fly. Isn't it glorious? This is going to be great. Do you think this is a good idea? Oh, thank you, Tech. Let's add some brackets because, you know, this thing's going to be just beautiful. Ugh. And go. There we are. Now we're above 150. I think that's a reasonable goal to try and stay at. Yeah, I think this could be a little bit higher up, though, so perhaps I will change the angle a little bit. So, wow, look at that thing wobble by itself. I'm doing nothing but moving forwards. That's wonderful. In battle, they told tales of the wobbling death which headed towards them before a blaze of glorious explosions. It also danced for them. It was hilarious and yet devastating. Time to add the reverse thruster so we can give this thing some proper tests as we continue to build it. At the moment, it's just all guesswork. I mean, to be fair, it's normally guesswork with me, but it's even more guesswork than usual. So what I want to do is let's duplicate this. There we are, there's the duplicate button. And what I would like to do is add boosters to backwards as well. Now, this does make this craft pretty useless for anything except the job we're currently giving it. And most likely this is going to flip when it moves backwards. But the idea is, we get to max speed. Yet we're now slowing down because extra weight, but oh well. Then we can stop. Oh, that is beautiful. Max speed, stop. It died whilst we were on our butts. In other words, it's the perfect weapon. Okay, so we need to do something about that. Either adding some wheels at the back which stop us from flipping, or, you know, actually balance this thing. But we all know that's not going to happen. Didn't even mean to do that then, and it kind of startled me. So, do we need more bombs than this, really? Probably not, but I'm going to add more anyway, because I doubt this thing would get a second shot. It's going to find an enemy, move to look at how it wiggles. Move towards it as fast as it can. And as soon as I can get the lock... Beautiful. Hardly did anything to the Mega Cube, but you get the idea. Slowed down a bit too early there. Yeah, need to do something about that. I think this whole thing's about to explode. So it turns out I didn't even get an autosave of that last creation, and then when it detonated, I lost everything. So I'm rebuilding it, but I'm okay with this. I'm not angry, I'm not salty, not even upset, because you know what? We're going to use the Titan wheel and we're going to make it bigger. And turn to the left. Lovely. Okay, so this thing turns incredibly well, which is kind of hypnotizing and kind of making me feel a little bit nauseous, so we're going to stop doing that right now. Good, good, good. And let's continue with the build. So we have the gyros underneath. We're not quite reaching the... No, never mind. We are reaching the speed we got before, which is great. Although that will slow down as we build... Oh, God, I've got to stop doing that. That is not sitting well with me. In the slightest. No, I am going to take a quick break right now. Okay, let's give this a quick test then. Didn't quite get to full speed, but that seemed absolutely fine. Though I did start slowing down a little bit too early again, and we definitely need some fuel on this thing. But don't worry, I have actually saved this time. Ooh, hello. Have saved. Maybe added a bit too much turning there. I don't even have words for this. Nope, still no words. Hi, Cube. Yeah, maybe don't put them underneath the carriage there, Lathrix. You know, although it's a weird angle, centre of mass is still a thing. I've somehow made it look like a tractor. A tractor with electrical powered shields and weird propellers sticking out of its butt, but a propeller, tractory, electric-y thing nonetheless. Oh, what have I done? Well, the important thing is it throws bombs, so let's give it a quick test, shall we? Hello there. Lovely. Utter devastation. Fantastic. I've also added some thrusters now to the top as well, so it doesn't instantly fly off every time it tries to go backwards, which is rather nice, it must be said. Release and stop. Oh, fantastic. Oh, not all of them made it, but I could have easily got out of range before it started firing that time, so it's getting there. It's getting... Oh, I need to change this, though. It really does look... It just looks like an orky tractor. Oh, that is far funnier than it is. So here's the thing, I need to know, can I fire these before I see the red reticule, or is that too early? No, it's not. Now that's good, because it means we can fire before we're in range of the enemy's AI. Though I'm not quite sure if they're actually hitting. I think they are, because it looks like it's now out of power. Yep, and that should be the killing blow. Goodbye. Ow. Okay, we need to remove these. These are just annoying me now. They weren't even adding any speed. Oh, this thing is made so badly. Okay. Let's put the highly explosive bombs on sticks. Let's see what happens now. Increase their altitude. Let's see if that makes any huge difference. Oh, that makes a huge difference. Almost all of them hit. The only ones which didn't were on the front. Oh, beautiful. Now, that fellow there has missiles, so we're not going to fight with him, because missiles probably do beat these things. Yeah, altitude. Also, we need to get some of our speed back. We could use thrusters. The problem is, since we're using thrusters to slow down, we can't bind only a few of them to those controls. So we need to do something about that. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but bombs will leave less evidence. At this moment I realise I could never be an engineer, especially not in the future with ion drives and such. Just imagine the scene. Lathrix, Lathrix, how are we going to make this craft go faster? Shall we remove some of the redundant parts and make it lighter? Remove the shielding, which obviously isn't needed in just this test run? Nah, mate. Add more ion drives. Why more ion drives? More forward speedy things make it move forwards faster. I mean, I'm not wrong. Lovely. Would this work at, like, point-blank range if I wasn't moving? Hello! Ooh, move! Thankfully I have saved this thing, so it doesn't really matter too much. Now, there's the missile lad over here. Let's see. Just go head on. Oh yeah, hit and run. I guess that is true, because as long as we're not directly in the path of our own bombs, so we can just move to the side after we fire, we could just attack like this, which is actually probably more efficient. Oh, it seems like the enemy may have run out of weapons anyway, so... Hello! Hello, how are you doing? So, what are you thinking about? Oh, you know, just bombs and stuff. Oops! Glorious. I've hardly done any damage. Oh, because it has those silly things at the back. So I've decided I love this craft. So yeah, hit and run attacks, of course that works, because these things track. As long as the enemy isn't using a tracking weapon themselves, so missiles and stuff. This could easily just throw its whole load of weapons at the enemy, so... Throw the weapons, run away. How did I get hurt? What hurt me? Did I get hurt by the cube? Cube, what did you do? Let's give this thing a proper combat test then versus this group over here. So, we let go of the missiles, we run to the side. Multiple explosions, and we've got away. Then we simply come back for another attack, and once again, disengage as soon as we fire. Only taking a few hits each time. This will be super vulnerable to missiles, but other than that... It's a lot of effort for what it does, but you know what? It's very, very fun. How does that wheel keep getting hit? And that wheel. Am I doing that? Oh, the enemy actually hitting me somehow? Oh no, I think it might be me. Oh yeah, it is me. Because I'm going so fast, when the wheels land again at that weird angle, it seems to hurt them. Oh, that was satisfying. Oh, good to know this craft hurts itself when it tries to move. This thing is the embodiment of just stupidity, and I love it. It's like me. I can't think of much else to do to it now, really. Just... Maybe we could stop it from doing this. Whoa. But I haven't added any side gyros. How did you do that? Well, it's haunted, clearly. So, I've stopped this thing from constantly trying to tip over every time it turns. Which is pretty... Whoa, that is weird. For a second there, I thought things were glitching out. So, yeah. Its controls are now way better, all thanks to the glorious power of the Better Future passive all-axis gyros. I've also added some batteries at the bottom, some Hawkeye batteries, which means the weight distribution is a little bit better. And yeah, surprisingly, it's actually a fully functional tech, at least in terms of controls. Doubt it would deal with hills very well, though. Yeah. Definitely not made for hills. And those gyros really mess up everything. So, flatland, racing, hit and run in those locations, that's fine. Losing wheels to hills, if that's what you're after, this is your tech. So it turns out, we don't really need these gyros anyway, so now they're off. That's fine. Still fine. I see no major problems. A few problems here and there just with starting back up again, but that's a lot of weight and a lot of complexity we could be using for other stuff. Interesting. So clearly there's a lot we could have done better here, especially since some of the gyros aren't even needed, so there's excess weight we don't need, but honestly, it feels like this is a viable idea for something in the campaign in the future if we randomly get some of the bombs. I think it will really work, if built with a bit more of a steady mind. So with that, let's do the gauntlet test, attacking all of the turrets in a row, and see how this thing does. And begin. Using the force here, some of these bombs still following. Whoa, that one went miles ahead. Need to be a bit faster here with the retargeting. Some of them are just not following along. And final target. No, sadly, only the missile one survived. Still proves the whole hit and run tactic works. They had no chance. Cheesy as anything, it's glorious. So there we are, a perfectly viable idea. Not done the best, but even this Hulk works. That is just wonderful. Just explosive stupidity. Those bombs drifted into place. Not quite there, that last attack. Let's try this one more time. There we are, all of the side enemies killed, and the main one crippled, and... put out of its misery. So with that, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed today's video, then of course, likes, favourite, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Terratech is a series you wish to see continued in the future. I have had a load of fun tonight, and now finally, I'm gonna go and try and get some sleep despite the annoyances of the day. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye. I love bombs.